In the past week, I've spoken to a lot of people that are either almost 65 or gearing up to that point, and their main question was, Adam, what do I need to do at age 65 that I haven't done to this point? And as we know, every age has different things you need to do. At 16, you can go get your driver's license in most provinces. At 19, you go to the bar for the first time. There's something at every age. At 65, it's very important to do these three things, and I'm going to cover that off in this video. So the first thing on the list, and I think the most important thing on the list, is convert your RRSP to a RRIF. So make sure wherever you hold your investments to open up a RRIF, a retirement income fund. And that's essentially a retirement fund that you draw income from for retirement purposes. Now, if you're someone that's coming up to 65 and you're not planning to retire at 65, it's still vitally important to do this. And the reason for that is money that you take out of a RRIF account in the year you turn 65 or beyond. That income, up to $2,000, can be used for the pension income tax credit, which we've done a full video on. We'll link that up above. So essentially, you could set up a RRIF account, you move $2,000 from your RRSP into your RRIF, and then you redeem that out of your RRIF. And it's considered retirement income, and the first $2,000, you get a tax credit, and essentially it works out to tax-free income. Even if you're not retiring, you could be working and making oodles of money, but there's $2,000 there for free. Anyone's gonna take that. At your high tax bracket, maybe you're paying 50% tax, and now you're getting an $1,000 tax benefit just by doing this. So open up a RRIF at 65. If you're pre-65 and you say, well, Adam, I've already opened up a RRIF, perfect, that's great. At age 65, money coming out of there, that first 2,000 will qualify. So the same would apply for a LIRA. If you have a LIRA, locked in registered account, you can set up a LIF, a life income fund. So maybe you say, Adam, I don't have an RSP, but I have a LIRA. Does the same thing apply? Yes, it does. So set up a LIF, a life income fund, move $2,000 from your LIRA to a LIF, and pull that out. Again, when you unlock from a LIRA to a LIF, a bit of a different process. Depends which province you're in or territory, if you can unlock some of that. And unlocking means moving from a LIRA to an RSP. We have full videos on that. You can search that in our channel. The important part is set up a retirement income fund, whether it's a RRIF or a LIF. Set that up at 65 and start drawing at least $2,000 every single year, tax-free. Before I jump into the second one, if you haven't already checked out our second channel, I encourage you to check that out. We'll put that below. It's Parallel Wealth, Money Mastery, and myself, Matt, Kyle, our team here, Brett and John will jump in there once in a while too. We will produce videos on there, and it's geared more for that 20 to 45-year-old market. We have a video coming out this week on inheritance. So if you're wondering about inheritance, both from someone giving money to someone receiving money, Matt's put a great video together on that. That will come out later this week. So check out that video, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss those videos as well. So the second thing you need to do is recalculate your CPP at age 65. So if you haven't yet taken CPP, which hopefully you haven't, but maybe you have. But if you haven't, you need to recalculate that number. And there's a few variables that come into this. Just knowing what you get. The CRA website, when you log in, from 40 plus, it'll tell you what you're gonna get at 65, but it's based on you kind of doing the same things you've been doing. So it uses some assumptions in there. As you get closer to 65, that number is going to be a bit more accurate. Now, there's three things that will create inaccuracy here, and that's if you've collected CPP disability, if you've had child rearing years, or you have survivor benefits. If you fall into one of those three categories, I encourage you to reach out to Doug Runchie to do a proper calculation for you. CPP disability stops at 65, but you don't have to start regular CPP. Survivor benefit changes at 65, but that doesn't mean you should take your full CPP. Like, those numbers have to work together. If you're continuing to work, you're going to qualify, if you pay into CPP, the PRB, the post-retirement benefit amount. There's other factors that come into it. So understand what your number is at 65, understand the benefit to delay to 70, and if you're continuing working, get a bit of a grasp on how much more CPP will I get every month or every year as I continue to work past age 65. So this is something you should be reviewing, I would say from 55 onwards. Understand your CPP amount, how much benefit is to work more. I talked to my dad the other day and he's looking to retire soon, and that's really because there's many factors, but one of those factors are, I've paid fully into my CPP now. Like, I've hit my 40-year max, I'm maxed out on CPP. As I keep working, under 65, I'm not getting any benefit for it. Now, that's not a pure reason to retire, but it's part of the calculation, obviously. So not that he's going to take his CPP, it's just as I'm paying into this thing, I've already maxed it out. And a lot of you fall into that category. These are conversations you need to have with your financial planner. Does it make sense to continue to work? Maybe you go to consulting where you're not paying into CPP. Like, there's a lot of different options here. But the main thing is to understand your number and talk to your financial planner to figure out the best kind of action going forward for yourself. The third item you have to do at 65 is determine if you're going to start your old age security. Now, you're going to get a letter in the mail from Old Age Security or Service Canada at 64 saying, here's what you're going to get at 65, here's when your first payment will be, and all those details. It will start automatically, and I believe if you've been in Canada for more than 20 years, it will start automatically. Now, you will get OAS, even if you're retiring abroad, as long as you've been in Canada for more than 20 years, you will get OAS. If you've been in Canada and you're staying and retiring in Canada and you've been here at least 10 years, you will get OAS as well. So that's the majority of you. I know some of you haven't been here quite that long, but for the majority of you watching this video, it's going to start automatically at 65. But that doesn't mean you have to start it, and it doesn't mean that that's the best decision to start it. You need to figure out, should I start old age security at 65 or somewhere between 65 and 70? Remember, there is a benefit, a 0.6% increase every month for delaying your old age security. CPP is 0.7, a bit more benefit, but there's a benefit to delay it. Now, should you delay it? Should you start it now? There's a few factors that come into that. I think the biggest thing is, if you're still working and you're going to have a full OAS clawback, then it doesn't make sense to start, because you're not going to get any of it, or you're not going to get a lot of it anyway. You're better off postponing it and getting a larger amount when you actually receive the full amount. I always say, run the numbers at 65, run the numbers at 70, maybe somewhere in between. Work on this with your financial planner. Every financial planner should run these numbers for you. So if your planner hasn't, have them do it. If they don't do it or can't do it or won't do it, it's time to find a different financial planner. You need to see the difference. It's not just how much you're going to get, it's how it integrates into the rest of your cash flow. So make sure you don't look at your OAS as a silo, right? If you look at it at 65 then at 70, you're going to get more at 70, right? You're getting 0.6 every month more, so it's obviously going to be more at 70. But how does that cash flow work into your overall cash flow plan? You know, if you're delaying CPP, if you're doing the RRSP meltdown, if you have like a bridge benefit, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and everyone watching this video will kind of fall under a different umbrella and a different decision. For a lot of our clients, we recommend 65, maybe 67. If you're still working, obviously a bit later, but the OAS deferral has less benefit than CPP deferral. Not just by the 0.6 to 0.7, but other factors that come into cash flow. And really, you can only see this by building a proper plan with your financial planner. So make sure you talk to your financial planner. Make sure you know how much you're going to get at OAS, if you should be starting it, what your CPP number is, what the benefit is to delay. If you're still working, what does that PRV benefit look like? And make sure that you convert your RRSP to a RRIF, or at least set up a RRIF and start drawing out pensionable income from a RRIF or a LIF to take advantage of that pension income tax credit and that free $2,000 of income.